Hello, chat. We're getting started soon. Do I think maybe that music audio is going through there? I do. Let me sort of fix that. All right, that looks good. Now they can hear y'all.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. All right, be right back.
Hello. Oh, God.
Look at those.
What do you think?
Look at those Steven Universe pants when he pretends to take out the dog. I don't want to know.
Yeah, when he has to take out Penny.
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
At a certain point, you let your friend be delusional long enough, you can't intervene anymore.
Is that code for? Is he peeing on his own fence?
Yeah, maybe yes. Gonna go take out the dog. I got that dog in me. Yeah, that's probably something along those lines.
Jeff, I believe it was the IGN review of Metroid Prime that was Citizen Kane video games.
Okay.
My stream's still going.
Just the end.
You don't know. There we go. I don't know. But I think he alt for fucking OBS.
OBS. Sounds right.
Yeah, can you check the... I don't know what you want to talk about. I should like pick random news.
Yep, I
That's
saw.
how we do it here.
Yeah, random news is great. Let me see. Oh, yeah, God, I know this song. We played it before, but I can't remember what it is. Someone in chat remembered. It's that weird PlayStation game.
Not the camera.
It sounds like me, and that sounds like shit. How drunk is Mike tonight? I don't know. Was he drinking on his stream? Maybe he started drinking earlier today.
Nah, because we did Game Club and stuff.
I want to drink. I've been wanting to drink, so we should relax next time.
Oh, what a good stuff. But there's the game, everybody. I can't remember.
Oh, what's the name of it?
It's a weird, it's got that weird name.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Mike's here.
Alright. Test. 1, 2. I am ready.
All right, I'm fix the cams. Gotta fix them again.
That's a tweet.
Yeah, this is LSD, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought that might be right, but
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think Dr. Ryan might have. Thank you, Doctor. Okay, there's that. Let's see here.
Somebody's adding stuff to the dock.
I have a beer. I was a busy boy today. I deserve one.
Yay.
Power Up Porter from Mario Day this year. It's still good.
Pretty funny submissions for the thread today.
Proud of yourself, Mike?
Yeah, I am.
You don't think I don't? You think I don't deal with this enough with having a 5-year-old?
They're not as good at it as I am.
It's literally indistinguishable. It's the exact same thing as what Addy says.
Yeah. Look, I'll let you all know. He's working on the talk right now, and he started writing. Phil Spencer is making a, and then I just went in and wrote Big Poopy.
And I saw him start right as I was typing, so I deleted what I was working on so he could finish his joke.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. You also learned that from the kids.
Just get out of their way. Okay, I think that's good. This is like the Wile E. Coyote, or the what's the other coyote's name from Looney Tunes?
Oh, you mean the wolf?
Yeah, Wolf. Right.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
I think it's just Wolf or something. Okay, there's that. Let's test this.
All right. Let's see. Yeah.
Yum yum. I got a tweet, and then we'll be good. I might even skeet.
Get a skeet?
I'm
Oh
a
shit.
skeet.
Bro, I was fucking panicking today when that shit wasn't working. Oh my
They're
god.
suffering for success, dude. Too many
Yep.
users.
Yeah.
A million people joined today or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which makes me want to host it myself. I need to learn how to host the skits.
Yeah, it's the Fediverse, right? I don't know anything
Yeah,
about it beyond the
something
name. Okay.
Waveform actually has a pretty good podcast explaining it all.
Oh, okay. I would actually like to learn more
alright.
about it.
Yeah.
He did say when Bluesky was first popping up, he did roll out that rule that was like, you're not allowed to have any links to other social media on your Twitter account.
Mhm.
Sure did.
So he's very, very, very aware of Bluesky.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's right. I remember that.
Remember co-host is closing. I really like co-host. Co-host was fun.
I liked Mastodon is the one where it's they're called Toots, right? Because of
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
because of H Bomber Guy. H Bomber Guy like donated like $10,000 and got to decide that they were called Toots. It's very cool.
I like that.
What was the elephant app?
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'm thinking we're good. Good enough.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, we're
ready.
good.
Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to count us in. I'm going to record. Super chats are coming in. We're going to get to all of those, everybody. Thank you so much. We see them and we'll get to them. And man, the YouTube Studio app is already chugging for me. Can't wait to watch it crash in the next 30 seconds. All right.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. In 5, 4, 3. The internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is
Mike Minotti.
in today's episode, what's going on with Avowed, what's going on with Xbox, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake reviews are in, Lego Horizon is out. Mike won't shut up about it. He's lost his mind for Lego Horizon. Very excited to talk to him about that. But otherwise,
Lego,
Mike,
go, baby.
Mike, how are you doing?
Good. Been busy. Like, God, I had that like a vacation at staycation last week, and just got back to work, and it's just been kind of wild. Very busy over on the Games Beat side right now, and other things. But the worst things to be than busy. The holidays are coming up. There's gonna be plenty of time for shenanigans. I think I might put my tree up this weekend. I think that'd be fun. Oh, although I kind of want to wait now because I don't know if you saw that. I think it was I Am 8-Bit has a Muppets Christmas Carol vinyl, a new one.
Ooh, really?
It is gorgeous, Jeff. I think you need it too.
I'm gonna get
find
it.
that
Yeah,
link.
they just sent me this, the Vampire Survivors LP, the double LP, and I'm very excited about that. But boy, Muppet Christmas Carol, that is very much something I need.
It is. Here, I'm going to send you the link to this. Right, I'm just putting it into the chat right now, so you can open this up and I want to just see you react to the art on this thing. It is the most pretty thing I've ever seen. There's 3 options, so you can get the Ghost Christmas Past version, Ghost Christmas Yet to Come version, and the Marley and Marley version. I got the Marley and Marley version.
Oh my God,
of course,
awesome.
It looks so good.
Okay, let's see here.
It includes When Love Is Lost, the song that was originally cut from the movie. It is in here.
Yeah, give me Ghost of Christmas Past. I'll do that one. This is only $33. That's awesome. Vinyls could easily get up to $50, $60 for something like this. So, yeah, I am gonna get that. Okay, very cool. Last Game Master Decides podcast for me until I get back from vacation. That means I'll miss Last Nintendo Dogs next week. I'll miss Game Master Decides next week. Mike will hold down the fort with y'all. I'm looking forward to it, but boy, it is starting to get pretty hectic about getting ready over here. But I'm ready for it. I'm looking forward to many of the things I'm going to get to do.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a mad dash before you get going, and then once you really get going. I mean, I'm sure traveling with kids is stressful too, but once you're there,
I think they're going to be good. I have high hopes for them.
Are you driving?
No, we're
flying.
We're flying.
Yeah, okay, that's nice.
I considered could save money, but this saves time, so we're gonna fly. And it's we leave on Sunday, get there Sunday. We're gonna spend that first day. We actually get there early on Sunday because we're leaving very early on Sunday. So first day we're going to downtown Disney. Is that what it's called? It's
called Disney Springs now, but everyone knows what you mean. It's okay.
Okay, and we'll get some good food there. Probably get merch right away. I bet. Yeah. I'm bringing an empty small size suitcase. I hope that's big enough.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think I want to go swimming. Maybe use the hotel pool because I don't know how much time we're gonna have for that otherwise.
What hotel are you in again?
We are going to be in Port Orleans, and
That's
there's
right.
2 of those, right? Or maybe Riverside and French Quarter. I think you're in French Quarter, right? Or am I making that up? I think I'm in French Quarter. I think I am. Yes.
Yeah. All right. If you're in Disney Springs, the one thing there that's you have to plan for if you want to do it is you want to get a Gideon's cookie that is very popular.
Okay.
You have to get in a line first thing when you get there, just to then get put on the list so that they'll then text you when you can actually go inside.
Jeez. Okay. All right. Well, I'll do that.
Yeah. So just if you want to do that, it's kind of right in the middle of everything. You'll find it on the maps and stuff. That is the most you're gonna have to wait in the line to do it, kind of thing. It's very well themed and cool in there. It's neat. They are just also cookies though. So if you if you don't want to do that, it's okay.
Okay. Well, we'll give it a shot. Well, we're gonna have a lot of time that day, and there it crashed. Fantastic. All right, let's let that refresh or whatever it's gonna do.
That's fine. But the most important, so if you're at Port Orleans, the most important thing is for you to get the beignets anyways. That's going to actually be better, and it's going to be way easy for you to get. So if you don't get beignets, I won't talk to you when you come back.
Where do I go to get the beignets?
It's just at the one restaurant there. It'll be very easy. Just go up to anybody and say beignets, and they'll point you. It's the whole point to stay there. It'll be easy.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll try to make that happen. We have a lot of of the dining is set in place and stuff, but not for breakfast. So breakfast we have mostly open. Some days we're just going to go, but some days we'll get a breakfast, and that'll be good.
Beignets are good. I had some cronut holes today. You ever had a cronut?
I had a cronut remember our Games Beat event in LA?
Yeah.
I had heard of cronuts before, and people that don't know, it's croissant and donut. And so when they had cronuts at this hotel or the resort that we were at, I got several there because they were so delicious. And since then, every couple of weeks, I search Google Maps near my home for cronuts to see if anyone's serving cronuts. And nope, to this day, still no.
There's one place here that does it. I don't even know the name of it because it's like my stepmom who goes. So there's one place here we can get cronuts, and they are amazing. I freaking cannot get enough of them. They're so good.
I love cronuts.
You eat 2 of them, and it's like, I think I'm going to die now, but that was delicious. That was worth it.
Did you listen to any of the dump truck today?
Not yet.
Just Dan talking about how much sugar he eats sometimes. It's a lot. I eat a lot of sugar. Not as much as Dan Reichert.
No.
He would eat 6 cronuts.
He had the audacity to say that he doesn't think he consumes any corn syrup.
I know.
He eats.
I know. There's no getting through to him with that stuff, of course, but yeah. All right, let's get on with this show. I want to thank everybody for joining us. You can give us a good rating wherever you are listening. If you do that, it helps people find the show. So does hitting the like button on YouTube. If you want to ask a question, you can drop a super chat during the show here on YouTube. We'll get to all those before the end of the program. Thanks to Carlos Ayin, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube for the use of our theme songs. Thanks to 1UP versus CPU for our artwork. You can find more at 1UpVersusCPU.com. We are, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever pods are caught. Thank you to the mods. Thanks to Christian for producing. And you can get more from Mike and me and support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That's patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to our Discord server, participation in Q&A sessions, and our Game Club discussions, early access to new episodes of Game Mess Jeopardy and Columbros, and of course, all of our shows ad-free. Friendly reminder, if you can become a supporter, get all those same benefits by joining us as a member here on YouTube, or by subscribing to Mike's Twitch, twitch.tv/Tokoto. He was streaming tonight. He was streaming, in fact, for the Game Mess with the Game Mess Game Club. How did that go?
Yeah, it went great. We had a good discussion about Resident Evil 3. A new poll is going up right now. We're choosing between the Gunk and Guard, and actually Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. We might just all play that one together when it comes out. So
that'd be fantastic. I would try to participate in that for sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think it has a good chance of winning. So we'll see.
That's patreon.com/GameS. One more time. Shout outs to everybody who has been joining. It means a lot. Love to see it. It's just many of you have already joined, and everyone who does join or ups their membership, it makes a huge difference. So thank you very much. All right, got some stuff to talk about, Mike. Let's get into it.
Absolutely.
Phil Spencer says Avowed wasn't delayed due to quality concerns. Do you believe him?
Kind of. I mean, yeah. You know what? I think I mostly do.
His reasoning was, and the reason they said at the time was, look, we have a lot of stuff coming out. We have a lot of stuff coming to Game Pass. Right now, we have the Diablo 4 expansion. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and then Indiana Jones coming in December. We want Avowed to have its own time to shine. And you know what? When I look at what Black Ops 6 did, and probably how they were tracking it internally, being like, let's get Avowed out of here. Like, everyone's just going to be playing Black Ops 6. Seems like they might have made the right choice, right?
Right. Gotta think about the actual Activision, right? And they were doing things like releasing Titanfall 2 around the same time as Call of Duty, and what disaster was. Now, this is a bit of a different circumstance, but even then, right, like Avowed against Dragon Age may not have been great for that, right? There's so much cachet with Dragon Age, not as much with Avowed. I get moving into February. Well, there's a lot of games coming out then too. Yeah, but Microsoft can't control that to a certain extent. It can control its own games before, it can help itself out, and it does make sense to me. And yet, I'm sure there was probably a little bit of game could also maybe benefit from a few extra months. Every game can, though, right? We don't know to what extent that would be the case, but why not?
Yeah, and there's a chance here where it's like they were really looking at the numbers. They were looking at the schedule, and they're like, okay, we put Call of Duty out at this time. A lot of people are going to get Game Pass for that. And then in February, as some people are beginning to wane on Call of Duty, maybe they'll be looking for something else. Maybe they'll open up the Game Pass app saying, hey, we'll come in at my next game beat. And right there, Avowed will be waiting for them and could really ride that wave. And maybe we'll see. Yeah. In general, I think I agree with you that I mostly believe them. I think there's also a chance that it's like, hey, we feel like this game's just not getting on the right foot with the messaging and the hype cycle. Feels like maybe we had a few missteps there. So let's give ourselves a few more months, get on the other side of some of these big games like Indiana Jones, and then immediately, first thing after that, starting in the January of 2025, go really hard on Avowed and see if we can restart that messaging machine. And I think that game will benefit from that if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I do hope they kind of crack that nut and figure out how to get people excited for Avowed. You know, I've been kind of befuddled about that for like a year. I'm like, hey, Obsidian, the like company that maybe makes the best Bethesda style games, even more so than Bethesda, they're making a new one of those, and it's the first one that's going to be like Skyrim in like a decade. We don't get one of those very often. And look, it looks pretty neat. Aren't you all excited? And everybody's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's okay.
I thought we all agreed we liked these games. All right, fine.
And then I play it. I'm like, I thought it was pretty good. Everyone's like, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what they need to do, but they gotta need to do something to get people a bit more into this.
Yep. And now they have a little bit more time to figure that out, and they'll probably try something different next go around with the marketing, and that'll be a benefit to them. Phil did a lot of talking this week. He talked to Bloomberg. He talked to Steven Totillo over at GameFile. And as part of that, he also said that there's no red lines around games that belong to Xbox in regards to whether they could show up on other platforms, those being Nintendo Switch and PlayStation. And then he was asked, like, well, hey, what about Halo? And he basically said it's too early to decide about the next Halo, but there's also no red line around Halo, so it could be under consideration. What do you think about that?
I understand, like, being a little bit scared of making that decision because it's the final decision there, right?
Yes.
That you got to make about that stuff. So once you do that, so you can't pull it back, right? Once you go there, then that's it. Everything is on PlayStation.
Yep.
You've really crossed the line. And it's so hard in video games once you give people something to then take it away.
They won't.
So once you make that move, you're kind of stuck with that forever. So you better be careful about that. At the same time, though, like, you know, Halo Infinite kind of suffered. You want to make sure the next Halo has everything it needs to succeed. And boy, putting it on PlayStation would help, not just because, like, oh, of course, like there's more, you know, so many people playing on PlayStation, but it would just grab attention, Jeff. Just the fact that Halo is on PlayStation, there would be so many people that would want to check that out. There might be people who just like buy a physical copy of that game just to have a Halo cover art with the PlayStation logo.
Yeah.
Right. That would just immediately help that game sell a lot of extra copies.
And it's like there's, you know, look at the way the winds are blowing, right? I mean, what is working for Xbox right now? Call of Duty, Minecraft, things that are so big and everywhere, and there's no chance of them ever not being everywhere. They're just going to be in more places, if anything. And Microsoft also, like, you know, listen, they're still going to make hardware. They've said they're still going to make hardware, sure, but like their main effort right now seems to be expanding the places in which people can play these games. We'll talk about here in a second the this isn't an Xbox campaign, which some people are freaking out about. But they're like, hey, no, everything's an Xbox potentially. And so, like, when I look at it, and, you know, when I project out 10 to 15 years, so what I've been saying on other shows, like, it's very easy to imagine Halo on PlayStation in 20 years. So, if, like, we're talking about a time between now and then, like, why not just get to that point as quickly as possible, get it over with, and figure out what the future looks like instead of trying to keep 1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the future? If they're going in that direction, because what isn't the future is suddenly Xbox is back and everyone has an Xbox, and you can put out games exclusively, and these massive games that cost a massive amount of money to make can recoup all of their costs plus make huge profits just with Xbox. That's not happening. So you can't keep 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the future. Just get to the future. And to me, that says they're just going to naturally decide here pretty soon to put even Halo on PlayStation. So when it comes to now this ad campaign, which I don't know, have you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen this. This is an Xbox. And I mean, what's the natural conclusion of that, Jeff? And I don't know if it could ever actually be in the ad campaign, but a picture of a PlayStation 5.
Everyone is making
This is an Xbox.
Yep, this is an
Am
Xbox.
I an
yeah.
Xbox? Are you an Xbox, Grubb? Who's an
Listen,
Xbox?
I'm not. You're not allowed to ask me that. You can't.
He's
ask
not an
me.
Xbox. He's an Xbot.
Yeah.
Got him.
damn.
Got
Damn.
him.
Damn. Yeah. Hey, I think I'm getting a little bit maybe sick of this, Mike, of like people being like, they're just admitting it. They're third party. It's like, bitch, they've been saying this for years now. What are we talking about?
Yeah, it is. How many more times do we need to do this? Right?
How many
Yes.
more times do we need to do this? 0. We don't need to do it. Just listen to them.
It's
Owning
happened.
I'm gonna own the Xbox by buying Call of Duty.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna do on my
Right.
PlayStation 5. There you go.
I mean, the fact is, we're still going to have to deal with it when first Gears gets announced for PlayStation, which will probably happen, and then when Halo does. And, like, that's the thing. At least once that does happen with Halo, then you would think, okay, like, we're here, everybody. The only other thing that would stop at that point is if they do come out and say, like, we're not making original hardware anymore, which I don't really think is going to happen anytime super soon. But, you know, yeah, we are on this trajectory now, and having the ad campaign just spell it out. But you've been saying for a long time that is what their messaging is going to be.
Yeah, and like I don't blame people like a couple years ago when it was like, is that what they're saying? Because they were trying to be coy about it. They were trying to be like, maybe, but really, if you actually dug into what they were saying this same thing that the ad campaign says, and the natural conclusion then was those games could end up on PlayStation eventually, maybe. Now, they've also been uncertain about this. We've heard about arguments inside of Xbox where some people think it's a terrible idea to put stuff like Halo on PlayStation. So even internally, they're not decided on this stuff. And I think part of that's just not having a very strong vision for like what the intermediate time frame looks like. But I think on the long-term time frame, they do know what it looks like, and it's Xbox games everywhere, including PlayStation and Nintendo platforms. Yeah.
They're not going to make that decision until they have to, and they do have some time still to make that, especially if the next Halo is going to be on Unreal. So, you know, making a PlayStation version of that is going to be easier than if they were using their proprietary engine like they used to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It'll, I mean, and that's probably part of what they're thinking about. It's like, hey, having this in Unreal will also make it easier to like downscale it for mobile and stuff like that. So, yeah, there are a lot of considerations there. They are building stuff for the future. And that future includes all these other platforms. And I say this one all the time as well, but they definitely see a future in which it might be possible to have the Xbox store on PlayStation where they don't have to give PlayStation a cut because of regulation. That's how it's starting to work on mobile. And what's the difference between a mobile phone computer and a console computer? In my opinion, and I think in regulators' opinions, very little. Even if I think gamers would be like, well, here's why this is different than that and why these companies should be protected from that regulation and phones shouldn't be. I don't think regulators are going to buy that in the long term, again, especially in Europe. And if it goes that way in one major territory, at a certain point, it's just going to be that way everywhere. And if that happens, then hey, this PlayStation is an Xbox becomes very true, right? Because then it's just I'm using my PlayStation to access the Xbox ecosystem and bypassing Sony completely, and then Sony can't do anything to stop that. That's a wild thing to think about. And then also Phil is making a big smelly poopy, is what you wrote here, or helped me
I
right
didn't
here.
wait that. I wrote some of that.
You wrote.
I wrote only 2 words of that, and I won't say which one.
All right.
He talked about making a handheld. He says that he's having his team analyzing it. It's if not that if it happens, but it's like it's a few years off. But he's very interested in the space, and he's like, we're looking at the space, we're researching it, and I'm going to have them come back to me and tell me what they think we should do once they've completed that look into the space and done their research. I think they're probably pretty deep into that process at this point, right, Mike? And we probably do get a handheld, maybe not in 2026, but maybe 2027. So 3 years from now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's almost starting to feel, is that going to be late? But I mean, part of this, this campaign, this is an Xbox, everything's an Xbox. I mean, I look at my ROG Ally X, and I do kind of feel that a little bit. I just access the Xbox app on there. I have Game Pass on there, right? So I just do play all those games on there. So, I wonder if it's going to hurt them that we're just going to get more and more of these kind of machines that are already so good at being portable Xboxes in a lot of way. I'm curious to find to see how they make the specific Xbox version of that exciting and interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if they can do a good version of the Xbox operating system for handhelds and make that environment really friendly to playing games, I would welcome that. But you're right, there's a lot of work to be done there. And I do think like that is something that would be important for, Jackson Tension chat here points out, it's like the console should still feel important. I think the handheld, even in a world where everything's an Xbox, could feel important the way the Steam Deck has felt important. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. When it comes to what Jackson's saying here, Mike, I think about that it's already over. It was over before they made these decisions, right? Because we got to think about the way young people play games, like children. They are going to these consoles to play games that they were already playing on tablets and PCs for free. Fortnite, Roblox, a handful of other things. And those are what matter to them. And the device on which they access those things is an afterthought. And so it's all like the magic of consoles for an entire generation of gamers coming up after us has already been lost. And I think that's what Microsoft is dealing with. That's why they feel like they are so far too far behind to fix the problem, because they'd have to change the way an entire generation thinks about consoles. And in a world where consoles aren't going to just keep going up in price, Spencer talked about this as well, saying we're not going to grow the market with $1,000 consoles. That is just not really feasible. So what can you do is become one of those platforms like a Fortnite and like a Call of Duty, or, buy a Call of Duty and buy your way into having one of those platforms, like a Minecraft, and establish yourself and like position Xbox to work in the same way as one of those platforms. And that's what they're going for. I don't know if it's going to work. And I get why people, I think it's less special, and I'm a little bit less excited about thinking about Xbox because of it. But if they put out a good game, I'm going to buy it still. They're going to get my money one way or the other. So I don't think they're too worried about me, and they're much more worried about positioning themselves for the future, right?
No, that's exactly right. And these handhelds are going to be such an important part of the future going forward. I mean, we know PlayStation's working on one. We don't think Nintendo's going to leave this space anytime soon at all. And at least for the first round of these things, right? The first Xbox handheld. I mean, for Xbox, it's going to be the first handheld ever in a sense. So there should be some excitement around that. And I mean, that's why it's such a no-brainer for them, because at least it's a new space, right? You have to imagine a lot of people are going to at least be curious about that.
Last couple things here on the news stories I want to talk about, mostly just new releases. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake is the reviews are out. Has an 85 on OpenCritic. Basically, most people are like, boy, it looks really good. There's a lot of great updates here, some quality of life improvements, and it's still an old ass RPG with grinding and random encounters, and they didn't tune that stuff down at all. So just be prepared for that. And to me, that sounds like, well, I think it's probably what they should do. Maybe I would welcome some other options for tuning that stuff a little bit as an optional preference that I can maybe set. But if you aren't going to have those options, this is probably what you should do. And I'm excited about this still.
Yeah, like they could have maybe done the pixel remaster thing and let you turn off some of that stuff if you want to.
Yeah.
For me, I wish when I went and predicted this game's Metacritic score back when we were doing that, and I guess like a 91, I wish I could have told myself, hey, don't forget, Mike, some people are just going to be kind of, not weird, but some people are going to be a little prickly about a faithful remake to any game from before the 360 generation, right? Because it's just a little bit different, especially a Famicom game and an NES game. Like, my stance on this stuff, like random battles, turn-based, that's the game. Of course. Why not? But yeah, there's some people who are just going to bristle at that. Or suppose, I see some people like, there's not much of a story here. I'm like, yeah. That's great. That's awesome.
It just goes. That's a feature, not a bug. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely like all reviews. It's a case like, hey, like read the review, see if like you think you kind of align with where this person's position is. Because I think people like me who really do love old school JRPGs are going to be very happy with it. I have it installed and ready to go. I'm just in the end game of Metaphor right now, so I'm going to finish that first and then jump right into this.
Yeah, it's It's like I think a lot of people are going to probably like get over that stuff because this is going to be a fun game for most people. And I just think at first blush, it's not how modern games feel. And if you can go, like maybe push past that a little bit, you're going to find stuff like maybe a lot of stuff to like here. And again, it just looks really amazing.
like Dragon Quest more so than anyone. Like Dragon Quest has almost never stopped being that game
Yes.
in a lot of ways. It's kind of expected. Now, there's some stuff. Even I like Dragon Quest's inventory system. I'm kind of like, oh, this is kind of a lot because it is restrictive. But that is also the game in some degree. You are meant to do inventory management and make those decisions. It's the how do you feel about ink ribbons and saving an old Resident Evil games thing, Jeff?
Yep.
Because you get people are just like, well, that's annoying and stupid. But then you also get people like, that's an interesting mechanic.
Right.
It's just kind of decides where you fall on that spectrum, right?
Right. And I think, as time goes on, just naturally more people happen to find themselves on the further side of the spectrum because most of the games they played have not had that stuff. And that's just the way time has worked.
Right. Like I was saying this last year, but I really don't mean for this to be old man yelling at clouds. It's fine. But, there's a lot of time we were complaining about the hand holding in games. And now, there's a lot of people who grew up in the video games are kind of holding your hand generation a little bit. And I don't blame them that going back to something like Dragon Quest 3 can be a bit intimidating and kind of feel like this game doesn't respect my time or is being unfair to me. I get it.
Yep. 85 out of 100, though. Still very good.
I'm excited.
Lego Horizon Adventures, meanwhile, has a 72 on OpenCritic. I believe that's still where it's at or around there. And basically, people are saying, hey, yeah, it's pretty okay, maybe, but it gets boring, gets routine. And then a lot of people are saying, don't know who it's for. Because as someone who's a fan of this, I don't feel like much of a draw here. And as someone who might have kids, they don't seem to care either. I think maybe I'm a little surprised that it's seeming to fizzle out with so many people.
Maybe. I mean, again, 72 for this kind of thing. Like, what do Lego games usually do? Right?
I think they do a little bit better, but not much better. You're right.
Yeah, but I mean, there is an inherent thing, right? Where, hey, these games are kind of take themselves seriously and are kind of mature. I mean, you murder a lot of people in these games.
Yeah.
So how do you Lego-fy that? You can, and it might be fun. Lego games are always inherently simple. That's part of the reason why I never really liked them, even at their best. Like I liked the Halo or the Lego game format for exactly one game, the first Lego Star Wars, and then I was kind of over it even after that, right? Even when they did franchises I cared about more, like Lord of the Rings, I just never really was able to care that much about it. But there obviously is some juice there, but that juice usually works better when you're doing something that already appeals to children, like Harry Potter or Star Wars.
Right, exactly. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna get that ready. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about, or should we take a break and then get to the super chats?
Let's get to the super chats.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, everybody. Mike's gonna get those super chats ready to read. We'll do that right after this.
All right, we are on a breakaroo.
All right, thanks for hanging with us, everybody.
Mike, do you have the super chats?
I sure do.
All right, let's just jump out into it.
Real quick before I forget, Mike, it's funny that you bring up the subject matter because I've been playing Lego Horizon and they literally have a scene early on where they have to explain cultists to kids, and it's a very bizarre scene where where what's his face, her father figure is trying to explain it. And he's just like, oh, it's people who are very passionate about something, but in the wrong ways and goes too far. And she's like, she says something like, oh, like me with spaghetti. And he's like, oh yeah, like that, but way worse.
Oh, this game's good, actually.
Very bizarre. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I am ready to bring it back when you are. You guys good?
Please.
All right.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, we are back, Mike. Let's do the super chats.
Simon from Saskatchewan says, I wish the first name of the New Orleans Saints coach was Sky. Is that Rizzo? Would it be Sky Rizzo if that was the case?
I think so. Funny. Yes, that's the case. That's good. I like that a lot.
Then he could help me with my butt problems.
Sure.
Simon from Saskatchewan also says, sorry if you answered this thousands of times before, but I've never played a Souls-like game. I got a Steam Deck, so which one should I play and not play first? Black Friday's coming up, so I'll give it a try. I mean, I think just going into Elden Ring makes a lot of sense, honestly.
It works really well on the Steam Deck. That's where I played all of it. And it is definitely the one that will be give you the opportunity to when you run into something that is a problem, you can run away and do something else if that you're supposed to. So yeah, go do that, and then once you get the bug, I mean, do what happened to Mike. Like you played the expansion, and then you started playing Dark Souls 1 and 2 and stuff, right? So
yeah, then like after that, that's when I went back and started playing some more stuff, and I'm having a good time. But yeah, I think Elden Ring is like more approachable in a lot of ways. It's the newest, hottest thing. There are so many resources out there for tricks and secrets and builds and all that stuff. So if you want to play like that, but you want to just go in blind and figure it out yourself, you can do that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it's totally open to like you just going in there and tooting around. You'll have a good time.
Also from Simon from Saskatchewan, thank you so much, Simon. Says, Mike, if you want to shave the stash, you could do it for Movember. Also, what's the funniest name you can think of? My Hugh, Janice, Mike Hunt are good. The Movember thing is just coincidence. I don't think I'm shaving it. I don't think I'm getting rid of this at least this year. I think I'm gonna try to keep this through Christmas.
It is looking really good with the 5 o'clock shadow now.
I think the shadow's getting a bit much, and
Sure, yeah. You
get it a little trim.
Yeah, if you're gonna trim it, that's fine. Just like it looks good. Like I think at this level, right about here, it's like, yeah, that looks really good.
Gosh, there was always. Now I'm just thinking of calling Mo. That's what I think of those names. And I just always think of Mike Hunt. I think of Mike Hunt.
Mine is My Dixie Wrecked.
Of course. Ali Verical says, post Black Adam, W Rock was a treat to say the least, but WrestleMania is going to be hilarious with post Red One WW Rock. Oh, can you imagine how unhinged he's going to be when that movie bombs? Because he's the only one who doesn't see it coming, I think.
Did everyone see him like talking about like how he saw Oppenheimer in IMAX in the seat where Chris, who's the director of Oppenheimer, he's like, I was sitting in Chris Nolan, thank you. I was sitting in his seat and I was watching Oppenheimer and I was just like, oh man, I was thinking when Red One comes out in IMAX, it's gonna be game over. It's like, what does that mean?
Oh my god!
And
he's so bad.
He's lost it. And then like the tweet or whatever, the skeet that was about this was like, Red One currently has 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like, yeah, get his ass.
Oh my
man! I mean, he had a good 5-10 year run there where everyone loved him and he was the biggest
and he had a golden touch
in the world. And that's just not healthy for you. It turns out.
This motherfucker made a movie about a fucking earthquake that he should hang out around an earthquake, and he was
and it wasn't that was when he was like king shit era. Everyone's like, yeah, we'll go see that, and it was a hit.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. It was a fun time. Now he's after Black Adam. He was like, I'm gonna be the motherfucker, the greatest superhero ever, bigger than Superman.
Yeah.
And that fell down, and then he just spiraled down after that.
Marino's right though. It did happen before Black Adam. Something went wrong. I think it was like around the skyscraper time, like where like that was like kind of weird, and no one really cared about that one. I think that one threw him off.
KB Esquire. Oh, excuse me. Adam JC first. I generally like everything Obsidian does more than Bethesda games, so I'm looking forward to Avowed. I bet once that game's out, I bet it's going to review well, and then people are going to be like, "Oh yeah, why didn't I care about this?"
Yep.
But we'll see.
I agree. I think there's a good chance that it will surprise a lot of people.
Did you know there's guns in it, Jeff?
What?
KB Esquire with a very generous super chat. Thank you so much, KB. Says, this year, demos are directly responsible for me buying Unicorn Overlord, Metaphor, Pikmin 4, and Monster Hunter. I had never even heard of Unicorn and Metaphor before the demos. As a great demo recently helped you pull the trigger to buy any games.
Probably, we play I do some stuff in the Steam Next Fest here or there. It's definitely been like, I'm going to add this to my wish list. So it's happened. But, our typical relationship to the games, right, is like we're inundated with previews and we're getting pitched stuff constantly by PR and companies and watching every trailer. So I see a lot of this stuff and, maybe I'm even like playing it early. So it's like, I'll just kind of wait till I'm playing it when it's about to come out. So typically no, but that's not because I don't care about demos. It's just because of the job.
Yeah, I'm not a huge demo person really. I'm trying to think. Like, did I play the Pikmin 4 demo first, or did I just have a code and I just played it, right? Because there's codes too.
Stephen O'Hara has a good point. The Steam Next Fest demo for Balatro that Jan told me about,
sure,
that really got me into Balatro for sure.
Dr. Ryan says, don't know how far you are into it, but what's your favorite puzzle in Rise of the Golden Idol so far? Mine was the drive-in movies. Got the plat too. Of course, you got the plat, Dr. Ryan.
Yeah.
I know you're playing this. I never played the original, Jeff. Like, do you think this is a must play for me? Is this something I need to make sure I check out before Game of the Year stuff?
Yes, I think it'll come out in our Game of the Year for sure. I
stream it then.
I love it, but you know, I'm very much into this genre. You know, it is like those old logic puzzles of like, if you know this neighbor lives next to this person, they're 42 years old, and then they do this, and you got to like piece together what you know, but it's different because it's a, you know, a visual medium in terms of like you could see all this stuff and yeah, I don't know, it's just a cool game. And the puzzles are very good. The setup is very good and it just looks incredible. I also really like the drive-in theater episode, Dr. Ryan. I also like the prison one. People seem to have problems with the prison one, but that one really clicked for me and I like that a lot. One of the things that's fun here that they do in this one, they did a little bit of this in the first one, but they'll have like multiple different kinds of things you can fill in, and sometimes it's like who is in what costume and what can, like, then what character are they dressed as. There'll be a whole separate screen for like what are the names of these characters from this movie that's playing in the drive-in, and it's fun to like piece one of those things together one by one. Then that helps you then solve the ultimate puzzle of the scene, and then the scene helps you solve this overarching puzzle for the entire chapter. And yeah, that stuff's just really jiving with me.
AGB time with their first super chat. Thank you so much. It says, in Brothership, there's an island of opposing fire and ice denizens that ask the bros to taste and choose between their hot eats or cool treats. Even at Concordia, the Dairy Queen debate rages on. I want to be clear. I was very upset about the DQ slander. I have enjoyed their hot eats since I was a child. I think that they are completely fine and on par with pretty much every other fast food establishment. I think their chicken tenders are pretty good for a place that isn't like primarily a chicken place. Yeah,
right? That isn't like, come like our chicken, we're crazy about chicken. Right, exactly. It's like a solid chicken tender. It's like better than it has the right to be, I think, is where I would put it.
It's like, you know, they have like pretty good hot eats, and then they have the cool treats. So you could have a cheeseburger. It's going to be like about as good as what you get at Burger King, but then you can get a very nice ice cream cone that you cannot get at Dairy Queen or at McDonald's because the ice cream machine is broken.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Dan on Voicemail Dump Truck today did say he tried the chicken tenders from Dairy Queen and said that he thought they were pretty good. And it's like, yeah, like he had no complaints about them. So there you go. Even he has cooled his rhetoric on the hot eats.
Good. Yeah. I'm happy. Wes Diedrich says, only time I went to Disney, we stopped at a Subway. My 5-year-old niece got a turkey and cheese sandwich. She opened the sandwich and threw the turkey over her shoulder. Hope you have a good trip. Man, that's a power move right there.
That rules. That's very cool. I was probably a little bit older than that. And by that, I mean like 12 when I went to a restaurant with my brothers at the mall. And I remember doing this because it's like, why did I do that? And I took the mustard, which was just the yellow bottle that they fill with mustard themselves. And I picked it up and put the nozzle up my nose. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
Other people are going to use this. Why did I do that? That's crazy. And they yelled at me a lot. So I got what I deserved.
There you go. Ezekiel Buckheit says, I must have blanked out for some weeks or something, but the fuck happened to Jeff's main? He lose another bet.
Kinda along the same lines. We raised money for charity, and the $15,000 goal was I would get a mullet, that Kayla would give me a mullet. And you should go watch this. It's in the whole charity stream. I don't know when it happens, but it's an 18-hour stream. But you'll find it. Just look for the gyrating gingerbread man. When you see that happen, a little bit after that, that gyrating gingerbread man will give me a haircut, and it's terrifying.
It's Xcore, who's a Lincoln member for 25 months. Thank you so much. Says it's too damn early for your Christmas stream, Mitch. Gotta disagree.
Yeah, Mike, you're so right. They're weak. They're just weak. You can't handle it, X-Core.
Even like some people are like, how dare we dissolve or ignore Thanksgiving? No, we're not going to ignore Thanksgiving.
No, we're making it part of the party.
Yeah, but like on Thanksgiving, it's Thanksgiving. It's not like, we're complex people.
Long weekend. A 4-day weekend, it's Thanksgiving. Like, it gets a lot.
Yeah. It's Thanksgiving. And then we go back to Christmas. It's fine. It's fine.
But no part of Thanksgiving is trying to be like, let's take over your whole November. Thanksgiving's not trying to do that. It wants to be Thanksgiving week.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, Christmas is a holiday season.
Yeah.
And all those holidays are. Even like Halloween has become that. Thanksgiving it's not that. It's not a holiday season.
It doesn't want to be. You're not disrespecting Thanksgiving by not treating all of November about being about Thanksgiving. No, Thanksgiving is that day. You watch football, get together with your family, eat a lot of food. And if you've done that, you've successfully celebrated Thanksgiving. You can move on.
Gamefire Cribder says the ad is about Xbox ecosystem, console, PC, xCloud, mobile. Talking about that, this is an Xbox ad.
Yeah, clearly. It's about the ecosystem. And it's just, again, I'm getting a little bit sick of people not being like, okay, let's just move on. That's what they're doing now. But, people can't handle it still.
Gamefire, Lincoln member for 5 months. Thank you so much, Gamefire.
Thank you, Gamefire.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Should I do a voice or not?
Yes, please. Oh my God.
Play some of this Wario. Oh God, that's terrible.
Oh my God, what was that?
What the fuck was that?
That was Wario. What did you do?
It was Wario.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I got performance anxiety. Everybody could do a Schwarzenegger, except for me right now.
Now that you did that, I don't know if I could do a Schwarzenegger anymore.
Mike, say "Get to the chopper" in Arnold.
Get to the chopper. That's what I needed.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper.
There you go.
Played some of this Mario arcade game with my son-in-law tonight, and it's very fun stuff. But he won't stop talking about his friend Mitoko To. Mitoko To.
All right, lost the
Mitoko
thread a little bit, but all right.
It sounds like Hitler. Oh no.
Guys, Jeff, everybody. Look, I warned you all years ago. I can't do impressions. I just can't. I'm not. This is the only voice I got. It isn't that sad.
Okay. What was that? What was that super chat about? Let's see here.
Played some of this Mario arcade game with my son-in-law tonight, and it's very fun stuff. But he won't stop talking about his friend Mitoko To.
Yeah.
His son-in-law is Chris Pratt. Everybody.
Yes, that's right. That's very good stuff. Thank you, Arnold.
Yes. God, I shouldn't have looked at the chat. Next up is from Jason Fulton with their 10th super chat. Thank you. Says, Mike, it's been a minute. Could you break out the Geordie British accent for a minute? Always makes me laugh. Thanks, fellas. Great.
You can do this one.
How about I read the Arnold Schwarzenegger super chat, but in that voice?
Please.
Yes, please.
I played some Mario arcade game in it with my son-in-law tonight. That triangle. It was very fun, but he won't stop talking about his friend Mitoko To in it. That triangle.
Perfect.
There you go.
Absolutely
That
perfect.
was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for your art and your talent.
Nick Olivetto with their first super chat says, do you think with the potential incoming tariffs, Nintendo might change its Switch 2 schedule to get it out before increased prices, maybe turn customers away? Love you both. Love you too, Nick. Thank you so much for that first super chat.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit on the Last of the Nintendogs, but I don't know. I think if I were Nintendo, I would be more uncertain because if you put it out beforehand at a certain price, and then that price is untenable because of tariffs, now you have to raise the price. That doesn't look great. Even if everyone understands what's happening, it still doesn't look great. People don't care why you're raising the price, frankly. So they might hold off longer until they're more certain about what's going to happen, or they might do a higher price than they were going to do anyhow right now, so they don't have to raise it as much if the tariffs come. And again, I know there's a lot of people who are coping and saying the tariffs won't happen now that he's won. He was just saying that shit, but it's a very easy thing for him to do. He loves tariffs. He doesn't understand them. He did a lot of them in his first term. He thinks it's a good way for him to look like he's strong against China, which his followers love. And it's baffling because it's wrong. It's stupid. And then they put tariffs on us. It causes a trade war. But who knows? We don't know what's going to happen, and that is maybe worse for getting these companies to make decisions about what's going to happen next because they hate uncertainty, especially Nintendo.
And I mean, it's just so hard to move this stuff up, right, Jeff?
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Once it's they like having this extra time because they're like, hey, we can use this extra time to decide this and this. Having to speed up that time frame, very difficult. Yeah.
Kevbot.org says, mess boys, as I watch this podcast and completely avoid work on my GIS midterm, what is something you guys like to do when you are avoiding work? Please help me. Lol.
I usually boot up an N64 emulator and just play a lot of old games I've played a million times before, or to lay down on the floor. That's good.
I do like to nap.
Yeah.
I like to sleep. I like to just go to sleep.
Just go to sleep.
Actually.
Yeah.
I had a nice nap today. I've been back on the nap cycle. I got to get out of it. It's rough, but the naps have felt so good. They've been so nice, and I've just been feeling so tired again. Probably because I'm staying up too late playing Metaphor. I know that's why it is, but I'm not going to stop doing that.
No,
that would be crazy.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. Ariel Delgado says, "What was the songs in the beginning of the stream? What were you playing today, Jeff?"
It wasn't the songs titles weren't labeled, but it is the Ultimate PlayStation Jungle Mix, and it's from Kamaz on YouTube, Camaz on YouTube. Excuse me, it was uploaded a year ago, so just go look up the Ultimate PlayStation Jungle Mix.
Man, PlayStation 1 music is just so good, and it's wild because there's so many games, and yet there is generally a singular vibe to a lot of it.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, there's like it was just a lot of game music at that time. You'll find a lot of jungle music on N64, but of course, there's more of it because you can fit more music on a PlayStation CD. So yeah, PlayStation had a ton of it.
George Green Thumb says, Bat Grubb VR was exactly what I needed today. I want Dan to direct a Bat Grubb movie. Yeah, that was a very fun stream, Jeff.
Yeah, I was, I was just kind of in there, like, I couldn't see what anyone was saying. The entire time, all I heard was Dan giggling. It was like, everything I was doing was making him giggle. So I'm like, all right, maybe this is working. I was hot and sweaty and disoriented by the end of it, which is kind of what you want from a VR stream.
Did you like that game?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know if it's something I'm like, I'm rushing to play it on my own time. That's just kind of how I think I feel about most VR games. But for a VR game, it is really well done. It does make you feel cool. And I guess if I had infinite time, and maybe especially if I was a bigger Batman fan, I definitely would be into this. So if you are a Batman fan, I think I could recommend it to them pretty easily.
So just like watching you like free walking around and like snap teleporting people as you punch them. I was just like, man, some people are just built differently than me. Because if everybody felt like I did, this game would be illegal. It would make everybody so sick.
Lucy says she's playing it in 10-minute increments so that she doesn't get too sick. Yep.
Man. Dexter H says, hi. Why does Square Enix seem to have no idea what Final Fantasy's identity should be, but seems to be knowing it with the Dragon Quest series? Yeah, it is interesting. We mentioned it early, but they really have been consistent with Dragon Quest. I'm not quite sure.
Every Dragon Quest game is the same, unlike the Final Fantasy. I'm not saying in a bad way. I'm saying in a good way. Every Final Fantasy changes, like, the story changes, the mechanics change. And in Dragon Quest, it's the same, like, pacing. Yeah. Like, every Dragon Quest, at a certain point, you're going to get a difficulty spike. It's that. So, like, they know what Dragon Quest is because it's kind of written in stone, and Final Fantasy isn't.
I do think, and I think I said this before, I think the Final Fantasy, each entry being drastically different, that has escalated. Like, it used to be different in that, it's different story and characters and world, and there's, like, some new mechanics here, but there was a lot similar. And, like Final Fantasies 4 through 9, there is a lot about those games that is very similar still at the end of the day. And then they really started, like, each one's got to be different. And again, I said it before, but I think their whole aversion to turn-based, I'm not saying they have to make a turn-based game to make it good. I don't understand why they act like that's poison that is somehow never going to possibly reach a wide audience. I don't think turn-based is this black hole that they act like it is.
Yeah, that's so dumb. I hate that shit too. Like, you got the biggest game of a couple of years in just turn-based. Like, everybody loves Dragon Quest. Can they just see their stuff and see how much people love the shit out of Dragon Quest and being like, oh, maybe we can, like, still do old stuff that people like. It's not like young people is going to be, like, immediately disgusted by turn-based. I don't know. It's crazy.
I think it's just, Final Fantasy is a victim of its success, right? Final Fantasy was at one point just like, the quintessential RPG, and then Final Fantasy VII happened. It's like, no, this is the world game, not just genre defining, but definition of what a video game can be, and it needs to do that every time. And those expectations have never been placed on Dragon Quest. And so it was free to just continue being Dragon Quest, and Final Fantasy was shackled to, you got to redefine everything every time or else it's a waste of our time. And I think at a certain point, I think pretty quickly, Final Fantasy fans were like, we're not asking for that. We're not asking. Why are you, like, just make another Final Fantasy? But Square Enix just got it in their head and they never got away from it.
Yeah, they're definitely super concerned about, and they said this a lot about 16. Like, we want to make a very pretty game. right? Like that was like a big thing. I was like, that's what a lot of people associate Final Fantasy with back when they were kids. That was the prettiest game. And it's like, look, even if as hard as you try, you're not going to be able to really do that anyways. I wish they would do things like, Dragon Quest, they released their numbered entry on the Nintendo DS that one time.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking loved it.
And they loved
and the
that
shit was
game.
ugly.
I like
and it was
that game.
great.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's just a solid RPG
Right.
that just goes. Yeah.
And Final Fantasy will do that with spin-offs and stuff, but
Yeah.
I think maybe they need to get a little bit more traditional with the numbered.
I mean,
it'll be very interesting to see what Final Fantasy 17 is like, because I can't imagine they're going to go further down this action roller coaster ride direction.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where I think that they just need to step back and recognize that it's impossible to be genre defining at all anymore. You just need to know your own game and your own voice, and that's that has worked. It's why Nintendo works so well. It's why Persona has worked. It's why Dragon Quest has worked. You need to just get back to that with Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Next up here is from Brian Lally. He says, "Hi, Biff and Cheddar Boys. Been a rough few weeks being a social worker, but it's always nice hearing you talk games and mess around. But much appreciated. Also, prime beef sliders at Crew Cup Lounge is a Disney must." Jeff, he's talking about the Crew Cup Lounge at the Beach Club Resort, which is one of the hotels near Epcot. I'm not sure if you're gonna make it over there.
Yeah, we're making it over to a few. Like we're going to the Polynesian for like that Moana breakfast or something like that.
Yeah, at Ohana. That's
Ohana.
great, and you can get Dole Whips in that resort at this little outdoor stand.
Listen, and one of my favorite things, like when Mike has their 90 Disney podcast, is when they talk about the resorts. So I love hearing about those things, and I'm like, I want to see those resorts, and that's definitely one I would like to check out. But it will be difficult to get around to all of them for sure. So that might not happen this time. We'll see. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. That's one thing. When I was like kind of there by myself a couple extra days after the rest of my family left, I did just hop around resorts, and I had an amazing day.
That would very much appeal to me. But I got the kids, got to keep them entertained, and they're not going to like that as much as I would.
Thank you so much, Brian, for the kind words. Yep. Really appreciate it. Sick Jake with the first super chat. Thank you, Sick Jake. Says, love Tetris forever, but not having the big Game Boy NES ports, I feel limits a wider appeal. What is a franchise compilation you think Digital Eclipse should do next? Jesus fucking Christ, that Wario voice. I'm sorry, Jake. I'm sorry. Even I knew. I'm like, I'm just doing Wario. Oh, no. You know what's fucked up? I could never do a Wario voice if I tried. Never.
I'm not great at voices either, so I sympathize with this because it's like, I feel the same way very frequently. Like if I tried to do an Arnold voice right now, it would be really bad.
Yeah.
Listen. I haven't played a ton of the games in Tetris Forever. I would recommend getting Tetris Forever for the history lesson. Like, I am an old man, so I do get excited when like PBS is like, we have a new documentary series from their documentary series guy. He's like, he's doing a one on baseball now. I'm like, well, how many parts is it? And they're like, it's 12 fucking parts. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. So this, what Mike Micah and the team over there are doing with video games is the equivalent of that. This has been so much fun to get so many cool little tidbits of history, awesome interviews. They are done in little splices, little chunks, so it just kind of goes and goes and goes, and you get deeper and deeper, and you find out it's like, Hank Rogers was able to like get all this stuff done because he played Go, and he read in a newspaper. His wife read in a newspaper that Hiroshi Yamauchi, the president of Nintendo, played Go, and so he's like, I mentioned I'll make a Go game, and that was how I got an interview the next day with Hiroshi Yamauchi because I knew that was like the key. And then I became a friend of his by playing Go with him, and everyone else would leave, including his handlers who usually tell him not to say stuff. And I was able to have like good business dealings with him. And I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible history. I'm so glad I'm getting to learn this stuff. And then they're like, oh, and I also made I made this Go game. And it was, a 9x9 mini Go for the NES. I'm like, man, I wish I could play that. And then a few screens later, like, here's Mike Micah programming a version of this game that has been emulated for this collection. Go ahead and play it. And okay, fantastic. It rules. They do such a good job with this stuff. Area 5 did the video interviews. I'm highly recommend it. Just don't go in there being like, this is going to be my all-encompassing Tetris game collection. They have some cool Tetris games in there for sure. A lot of cool Tetris games, but get it for the history lesson. It's really awesome.
I have that one installed on the Switch. Definitely want to check it out this weekend.
Yep, I think it's going to be great on there.
In terms of what series I would like, I would love some old PC shit like Ultima. I'd be really interested to get some Ultimate. Like, there's been some good. Madular's been doing good videos about Ultima, but I'd still love some more like official stuff. In King's Quest, gosh, I'm an old adventure game freak. I'd love to get some King's Quest stuff, even like the parser games, right, where you literally had to type out stuff like "pick up rock," right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be into that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think like that era, like Sierra and LucasArts, that those would maybe be ripe and also quite possible. Like those feel like a possible thing that could happen. I mean, my dream would be early Nintendo games. The early days of
Black Box Collection.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That would rule, but probably not going to happen.
Screaming Madden says, how many games have you two beat this year? I'm currently at a personal record of 37 games, with most recent games being Balatro, Eliminator Boat Duel for NES, NSO, and Super Metroid. Hey, it's really good. God, I never like keep track of this stuff. I know I've been finishing a lot of games this year, though. Gosh, I mean, it's got to be 20. And then there's been some old stuff too, like some of these Dark Soul games or what have yous, like randomly playing Sam and Max Hit the Road again and stuff like that. But I think I've been a pretty good boy with this stuff. Yeah,
I was on a really good roll earlier in the year. In the first half of the year, I was finishing quite a lot. So I think I'm probably pretty close to like 15 or 20 myself. But I've definitely slowed down in the last few months as like a bunch of stuff has traffic jammed together. And I'm like 3/4 of the way done with several games at this point, many of which I intend to go back to.
Got to beat Thousand Year Door.
I'm going to do it.
Cody Bishop says, feeling better after election, depression going away. Check out Empire of the Ants. Very chill, ultra realistic game where you play as an ant. God, I would love that. I love ants.
Yeah.
I love their weird hive mind shit. I love their tunnels. I love that one year where we got 2 cartoon movies about ants. Ants are cool.
Oh, you're a huge Woody Allen fan, so yeah.
No, Sylvester Stallone. I've never seen a Woody Allen movie aside from Ants, I think, actually. So
that's also very funny. I like that too. Empire of the Ants is one I want to play. If I'm out, I would maybe recommend, hey, Jam, that'd be a good UPF or something sometime. But if I come back and they haven't played it yet, I will try to get in on that.
Do people still get ant colonies? That used to be more of a thing, I feel like.
I bet they do, but I bet it's like science kits, right? Science kits used to be much less regulated, so they had fun stuff in it. Yeah, and there are fewer nerds. Yeah, sure. But it's like I bet there's like more regulation about ant colonies these days, so maybe it's a little bit harder to get your hands on.
I kind of want an ant colony.
Wow. 1984 all over again. Can't have my ants.
Mm-hmm. Burrito says, here's your money, Mike, for the Geordie accent. Makes my day any day, all the time. Death Triangle. You're welcome, Burrito. Just Rex says, Mike, in your Hitler Wario voice, please say who told you could eat my cookie.
Now you gotta try to do like Arnold.
Try to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who told you could eat my cookie?
What sort of deep South bullshit was that?
No, it's still, it sounds exactly like that Hitler meme of, oh man, Jesus Christ.
Ezekiel Buckcheek? No, Bouchette.
Bouchette, I think.
Ezekiel says, dogs are sentient. Approach them as such. That is all. You hear that, Penny? You're sentient. Where are you?
I think I treat all animals I interact with as with the same respect I would give a human for the most part. Like maybe I'm not like
I treat it with more respect.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, right. So they'll do that. They'll do what I can.
Austin Taylor says Golden Idol is awesome. If you're on the fence, get the cheapest month of Netflix and play it on your phone.
That's right. That's a good point. It is on Netflix right now already. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll play it. I do think I want to. Maybe I'll stream the first case and see how I feel.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it. That's a good idea. I mean, it might be one where it's like you might have more fun without the pressure of having to look smart on stream for that. But at least that's how I would be. But go for it.
Connor Wood says, now do Australian Wario. I need an Let me look up quotes from Crocodile Dundee.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Crikey.
Yeah. And then let's see, what is it again? I had to do an Australian Wario.
Right, we're gonna put,
an Australian Schwarzenegger's. I had to think about it, which is very difficult.
Get to the chopper.
Oh gosh, what you see? I'm Aborigines don't own the land; they belong to it. It's like their mother. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's incredible. Imagine, I sound like I'm Scottish. That's incredible. Imagine 7 million people all want to live together. Yeah, New York must be the friendliest place on earth.
I thought the VGC podcast was playing from my phone or something. Holy shit.
Scrooge McDuck, Jordan Midler ass motherfucker.
Yes.
Oh God, not even close to what was asked for.
From now on, every voice and impression has to be like at least $5 in the super chat.
Yeah. We're going to start raising the prices on this one.
Wow, our first super chat rule ever. Yeah, Connor, well, you got a deal for that. Chuck Tasky with $5 says, I heard we're artificially extending the show with super chats. Hey, what do you think is the best-selling game that has also been played the least?
I think I have a good guess here. I think I have a good guess. Spore. I get Spore.
Man, that's pretty good, Jeff.
Patrick Ford in chat said your voices are a hate crime. I thought that's very funny.
Look, that is absolutely not true. Not true. I want to look up the best-selling games of all time real quick and see like which one of these.
Chat is
gosh, what would be
for me too now? Man, YouTube's broken.
Do you think Red Dead Redemption 2 might be up there?
I don't know.
No.
I mean, I think
That's the most played.
I don't know if it's the most played. Hey, I think Spore is good too, mechanized, but we're freaks, so
Yeah, that's absolutely true. God, I don't think I can beat Spore. Although Connected Ventures sold 24 million copies.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think I'm going to say Connected Ventures.
Okay.
Actually,
yeah, so
that's what I'm going to go.
Some of those like oh, okay. How about this? What is the what was that Wii game that came with the controller?
Oh, Wii Sports Resort?
No, the
We Play.
We Play.
We Play. Yeah, We Play's a good one.
That one's like, maybe that one's not in the spirit of the question because like people are buying it for the controller, but
sure,
just by letter of the law, that's probably it. Actually,
I think that's pretty good. Ezekiel is back. Was saying buck height. Oh, but Ezekiel buck height.
Okay,
it's buck height. Love you. Dogs are the best. Thank you,
Woof.
Ezekiel. Buckheight.
Thank you, Buckheight.
I appreciate it. All right. That's it for Super Chats for now. Everybody, if you want to send more, we will get to them before the end of the show. Back to you, Jeff.
All right. We're going to take another break. When we come back, don't worry. Like Mike said, we'll read any more Super Chats at some point. But first, we got a little game. We're going to do the Mount Rushmore of poll quotes, the Mount Rushmore of box quotes on games. We got a lot of good submissions. And, maybe like absurd box quotes, not like just iconic because I don't know, but yeah, I think this is inherently absurd. So you'll get the idea pretty quickly as we start reading some of these. Everybody, we'll do this right after this.
Arnold Schwarzenegger says, "What is a tuba?" I got it there. Somehow that was fine.
Yeah, because you do like get to the chopper. Like Kindergarten Cop Arnie is pretty easy.
Yeah, Big Daddy, I will get yours later. Don't worry. I'm not saying Arnold Schwarzenegger matters. No, I feel bad. We're doing Big Daddies right now. If you're into those old DOS adventure games, you should check out the Exa-DOS project. It's a collection of over 7,000 DOS games that run on an array of DOS simulators. Work great on modern PCs. But boy, that does sound like my shit, B. Diddy. By the way, B. Diddy, do you know about the biddies from Whovilleopoly? I want to check it out.
We're going to go to a break.
Now the break started. There you go.
All right, we're on the break.
Perfect.
They get a drink.
Fucking biddies up your ass. Get the hell out of here.
Don't forget the biddies. What the hell is this show? Says Chuck Tasky. Chuck, if you don't know, I certainly don't. I have no idea.
Chuck, you know exactly what this show is. Don't fucking lie.
Who is your daddy and what does he do for the living?
Put that cookie down.
Put that cookie down. Oh yeah.
God, I love Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, me too. That's one I watch that one every year. So like, there's a handful of Christmas.
Wait, shh.
What the fuck is he doing?
Entertaining himself.
Yeah, he was entertaining himself in the kitchen.
He's really thinking they're probably talking about me, and he's right.
He's
about that.
right. He's
Fuck.
right. Yeah. Wes Dietrich says, "I want to live in the biddies so bad."
Very biddies, Chris.
Jesus Christ.
Do
Do you think he knows? Do you think he knows?
What do I know? What?
I don't think he knows.
He probably doesn't know.
Okay.
What do I not know?
Well, you don't know.
I honestly also
don't know.
don't know, but I believe Sean when he says you don't know.
From now on, the
biddies will be miles away.
Let's see. Where was it? Oh, Fogad.
Is that
Just
about
always,
how biddies
always been on
means
the
boobs
Lions
or something?
Oh,
You're-
Tiggle? Yeah.
You're in the ballpark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant bodies.
I don't think biddy is it biddy a derogatory term for women? If it is, it's from like the 1920s. But
Yeah.
I read A Brave New World and I didn't see that in there for women. So
I would just say not a great term.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't say.
It's
that.
not like horrifically offensive.
I think you're
But-
you're okay because you're talking about the Whovilleopoly biddies.
Yeah, it's context.
Right.
Context.
It's a different one.
Yeah. All right. I've got my Oreo
Oh, shit.
Coke Zero Sugar.
I was so taken away by the Mike Minotti. You need to set up the thread for people to
Oh
see. The
yeah, I got
submissions
it close. Let me just go over there, and there we go.
Just
A Mike Minotti Christmas.
every break we need to do something, and I always forget.
It's all right. We're good. It's already set up.
It's Mike. It's Mike's fault.
That's a good point.
AJ, I don't need another old white guy from Ohio telling me how to think. I have enough of those around here.
What did he say now?
He says
call-
I'm overthinking it.
Oh, apparently that word is used in the movie. That's incredible. I don't remember that part.
Yeah, I don't
AJ
either.
loves that movie, by the way. It's the most
Yeah,
AJ coded thing.
Yeah,
surprise.
man. When you say that, I'm like, yeah, that seems like something AJ would love. Yeah.
Yeah, AJ's like, AJ can't get enough of the live action Grinch movie. It's very much his thing.
I think we watched it recently with the kids. I'm like, yeah, I like this quite a bit. Oh wait, hang on. There's something happened with the video here. Let me see that. It's like kind of leaking down into that. Is that my camera? What camera is this?
That's Mike. The glasses.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I think I can just move this up here and cover it up.
That's so weird.
There we
That's
go.
so weird.
Okay, I am good to go.
All right, let's go.
Actually, you know what? I lied. Let me get a doc too.
Wow, you lied to me.
I lied to you.
Disgusting.
Just a liar?
I am a liar.
Fucking liar.
Docs. Google.
I don't know how to live with
Oh wait, no. I want
this
sheets.
deception.
Sheets. All right, blank spreadsheet. Let's put this here.
Asia says it's very much my jam.
It sure is.
All right.
Yeah. Freeze one row.
Kind of creepy. That movie.
Oh, yeah. It's funny.
Very-
He had to be there.
It's scary sometimes.
It's weird because it was like if that movie was made like 1 year later, it would have just all been CG bullshit. But instead, they made it practical and in like the weirdest like way possible.
Right. I mean, I think doesn't that just happen because the kinds of people who like were capable of making practical effects in that time were kind of a bunch of weirdos, people who are into weird stuff. Like they're just like the Ray Harryhausens of the world, like just have like a twisted sensibility, and so it's like we got to go to these people, and this is just the shit they make for us.
I think you're right. I love that.
I love that too. I love that. Yeah. All right.
That's great.
All right, let's go back.
Yep, we're good. All right, we're back, and here's what we're gonna do: Mount Rushmore of box quotes or poll quotes. Basically, the quotes that often get put on the box art for video games, mostly from previews, occasionally from reviews, when like a game gets reprinted or something like that. We'll give some examples here as we go pretty soon. But I think let's just do a couple, Mike, or if you have any, because I know you're saying you might not have a ton, but we'll also get a ton of help from the podcast producers. They put a bunch in there. So
the one I did want to bring up was for Stuntman. The pool quote is it's from GameSpy, and it says, "We have one word, Stuntman rocks."
I love this one. Yep, Stuntman rocks.
So that one's pretty good.
GameSpy, and then in parentheses, Stuntman. All right, there we go. Yeah,
it's like freaking Phil from Hercules. It's good.
Right, it's because like what happens there is like someone like just writes the review. They don't think about it very much. Sometimes, occasionally, they're like, my audience will read this, whatever. Maybe it's not the most perfectly edited thing, and then some marketer somewhere sees it and it's like, I'm putting that on the box, and now it's immortalized, and you can't edit it once it's on a box. Like there's no fixing it at that point, and you end up with this. All right, the one I would definitely put up there is, I should just get it. Let me grab this here. I don't know.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay.
It's exciting.
especially since he never shared his camera with me in Discord, so I'm only watching his video. Feed
Okay,
on
I can do that. Let me do this.
I see it.
There you go.
I see it.
Ikaruga, our frothing demand for this game increases from IGN.com.
That is very good.
Yep.
Our frothing demand for this game increases. God, Ikaruga rules. Look at that shit.
Ikaruga does rule. I like the game, and I like this quote, and it's like literally hanging on my wall in a framed picture.
Is this what inspired this whole topic?
It definitely something that is always pinging around in my head, but no, there was one I saw recently, and now it's bothering me because I haven't been able to think of exactly what it was all day. I'm hoping maybe one of the podcast producers mentioned it and it pops loose. But there's one I saw, and I'm like, God, that's so stupid. We should do the Mount Rushmore of box quotes. But yeah, this is definitely the one I would have put as the George Washington for sure. So let me put that in here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, that is incredible. Frothing demand. That's actually good writing. I like that. That's evocative.
Exactly right. Yeah, and it became a meme right away because it is like both absurd, but it's also good writing, evocative. You're right, and it's just very easy to like mention that, and then everyone goes, Ikaruga quote: "Our frothing demand for this game increases." Right, increases. Yes,
increases.
And then it's IGN.com. Ikaruga. Oh my God, it created a link to IGN.com. Okay. I do have one other one that I'll mention, and it's for Far Cry. Was it Far Cry 3? Skyrim with guns.
Oh gosh, that really did sell the game,
right,
for a lot of people. But God, did Far Cry 3 really happen after Skyrim? That doesn't seem like the right timetable to me.
Maybe it could have been Far Cry 4, but I think it was Far Cry 3 because that was the whole thing. Is like that was the one that like really broke out. But I think
it was.
Man, because
you're right. Far Cry 3 is Far Cry 3 is 2012. I don't know why I thought it was earlier than that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Then it is Skyrim with guns.
Chat, help me remember who said Skyrim with guns. I want to say it was like Games Radar or something like that. I'm just gonna put that there, and if that's wrong, I will update it. And that is for Far Cry 3.
It was by Adam Kovic of the Machinima YouTube channel.
Oh, right, Machinima. Yeah. Okay. All right, very good.
How about that? How about them apples?
How about them? Okay, that's very good. Okay, you know what? We'll just hop over now to the Discord, start getting their input. Chat, help me keep track of this. And Mike, if you want me to put one on the list, I will.
Yeah, because I think the first one is the other one I would have brought up, although it's hard to pinpoint just one from this.
Exactly. So the first one here from Dan Fiasco is the Game of the Year edition of Batman Arkham City. And I got to tell you, I was killing time there a little bit to try to remember like which Batman this is, because it's legitimately hard to tell which Batman game this is just by looking at the cover, because it's shoved off to the side and wedged between a list of the bonus content that takes up like 1/3 of the right side, and then several massive box quotes. Most of them though like scores, like 10 out of 10 from Game Informer, I think, and 5 out of 5, one of the greatest games ever made, period. And 5 out of 5, a must own, and then Game of the Year. Those are just in like 45-point font on the cover and a black and white Batman between all that.
It is disgusting, right?
Yep.
It's so oppressive to look at this fucking box art. God, we could do a Mount Rushmore of worst box art, and it would be this and that Castlevania Dawn of Sorrows like Konami collection thing, where it's just a picture of the box is a picture of the box. It's incredible.
It's perfect. I love that so much. I want to get that and have the physical copy really bad. Oh yes, people love this one. 40 winks for the PlayStation, a game that everyone remembers. Evo Janis brought this up. The box quote is "Move over, Mario" from the Nintendo official magazine.
The official Nintendo magazine. What the hell's the Nintendo official magazine? Isn't that just Nintendo Power?
It's got to be the UK magazine,
European.
Right? Yeah, some European magazine or something like. God, there was a box quote where it was like. That I was going to bring up. That's like, it was from like the Game Informer German edition, and that was like printed on the cover of one of the video games. But I don't have that anymore. All right, Screaming Madden says blows away last year's game from the Wall Street Journal on the cover of Madden 12. I like that a lot. That's very funny.
Hey, this is the one year the Browns were on the cover because it was like a big poll tournament, and somehow the Browns won that.
Oh,
that's
really?
What I remember. Yeah. So there we are.
I like that. Oh, Peyton Hillis, right? Yeah, God.
Yeah.
All right, DK's Wild Hog writes in with Super Smash Brothers. Is this a box quote? Duke it out as your favorite Nintendo characters? I think that's just marketing, right?
Well, that's a box quote. What you're talking about is pool quotes, right?
Poll quotes. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean,
because
it's not a quote, right? They're not quoting someone. This is just them saying something about their game.
Quoting Nintendo marketing.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, fair enough. Chris 2K, I think is doing a goof here. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. And this one has a box quote from a Jeffrey Grubb. This is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is Nintendo's cutest risk ever. Which is definitely
kind of weird. It's in Comic Sans.
I don't remember anything about this. This seems like a fake to me because I would remember reviewing a video game, of course. Dad Strobot has, yes, this is a good one. A Tribe's Aerial Assault, and the box quote is "Goodbye, Halo."
Man, and I like Tribes, but this was like the weird console-only Tribes that I even forgot about, so that's incredible.
Yeah, I like that one.
That one I think may need to be considered.
Yeah, we'll
Halo from Tribes.
Yeah. Goodbye, Halo. And that's from who is that from? Who's attributed to?
The picture here is pretty small. Let me see. Tribes Assault box. I'll figure this out.
And that is Tribes Aerial Assault.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the back here.
Is
Oh,
that how you
this is a
spell
very
aerial?
high resolution version. Aerial, AERIAL.
Yeah,
right?
it's okay.
It's weird.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
It's from the official U.S. PlayStation magazine.
Okay. Official.
I wonder why they would say something like that. Weird. God, there was just that whole era where PlayStation fans and PlayStation themselves were just desperate to have a Halo killer.
Yeah, it was all they talked about.
That.
Yep, absolutely.
All they talked about.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is okay. So from a Bend 7, and it's it's like some horse racing game, and yeah. Okay, here's the quote: "If you're ready for a racing title that's a change of pace, this is it."
Yep. Sounds right.
Of all the video games, this is one of them. It's that's the equivalent of that.
Hey, I know you usually play car racing games. This one has horses.
Yeah, there's ones where you go fast and they're exhilarating. This is not that.
This is a horsey one.
Yeah, I love this.
This is from Craig Hansen at sonyweb.com.
Sony.
Oh yeah, sonyweb.com.
What's the name of the game?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, what's it? I don't know. I wish I knew.
It's Gallop Racer 2001. I'm reading the box.
Okay.
There you
Ready
go.
for a racing title.
Gallop
That's
Racer.
a change of pace.
I wonder how Gallop Racer 2002 was. I wonder if it had some improvements.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will have two less. Never mind.
Okay. There we go. Let's keep going here. From T Money OG, here it is. Our frothing demand for this game increases from IGN.com for Ikaruga. Absolutely. Oh yeah. This one too. Okay. Outlaw Golf 2. This is from Dave Attell, the comedian and the host of whatever that show on Comedy Central. Outlaw Golf blows away all other golf games. It's lewd, crude, and freaking fun.
Is it that lewd? I mean, there's girls in like
they wear
bikini
bikinis,
tops.
right? They golf in bikinis, which I think Dave Attell would be
that's
very
hot.
titillated by. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Insomniac. Dave Attell's Insomniac. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Man, for some reason I thought that Outlaw Golf was only on Xbox. I don't know why.
Yeah, it does. I don't remember it as a PlayStation game at all. Mostly, I remember it mostly as a video game magazine ad because I never played Outlaw Golf back then.
This game looks like the most product of its time video game ever.
Yeah.
You know, it has to have the ladies and all that kind of stuff. It has to be like mean.
Yep. Yes. Right. It's like, oh yeah, we like. Actually, he's right.
Attitude.
Very crude. Yes. All right. Let's see. Music with Friends has Mega Man 3. Mike, what's do you know the box quote on here, or is this
I
just
think it's the thing about the Mega Man refund.
The Mega Man refund.
$10 when you purchase Capcom games details inside. It's funny because Mega 3 is my favorite video game ever. I've seen this box many times, and I know that there's that like yellow line with text on it. I don't think I've ever read it before.
That is incredible. That rules. I love that.
Yeah, really. I just always have glazed over it.
Yep. Jamie H. Christmas Eve has Mace Griffin. And let's see here. Mace Griffin is Halo for PlayStation 2. It's that good. And that's from...
They were obsessed, Jeff. And even this, they try to be like, this is Halo for PlayStation 2. I mean, at least Killzone actually, like, it got closer than most things, I suppose. But man, they really wanted to have Halo for PS2.
Yeah, and it says PSW. Is that PlayStation Web or PlayStation World?
God, who can knows?
Yeah, who could say?
Who can tell? Who
PSW for Mace.
Even that's just a 9 out of 10.
PSI2 says it's exceptional.
That's great.
PSI2. What the fuck?
Yeah. I guess they were just PSIs and then the new console came out. Like, well, we gotta change our name. Shit.
All right. From Slain, Micro Machines 2 Turbo Tournament. Is this the cover of the game? I guess he circled one of it here. It's got like this looks like an ad in like a Toys R Us for this game. Is kind of what
it looks like. It's a box.
Yes.
It looks like a picture of a box.
I think it is. Yeah. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. 100% gameplay rating, 97% overall rating. Probably the most playable game in the whole world.
Add it.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Probably the most playable
Hell
game
yeah.
in
All
the
right.
whole world. And that's from Game Master Magazine.
If from the Game Master magazine, you know it's the real shit.
Yeah, and that's for what's the name of the game? Micro Machines 2 Turbo Tournament. Okay.
And I never play these games much, but people really like them. It turns out.
Yes.
I kind of feel like I missed out on something.
Turbo Tournament. There was one where it's like I think for the N64 where you could have 8 people holding like 4 N64 controllers. So 2 people would share one N64 controller, and they would use like the shoulder button and then like either the C buttons or the D-pad. And
God, that sounds like the sort of thing that you would think about all the time.
I think about it all the time, Mike. I think about it constantly. I've never done it still. I really want to do it.
Yeah,
Like really
we
bad.
should do that sometime. Next time I'm over, we should set that up.
Okay, yeah, for fantastic. Let's make it happen. All right, Symbiosis. This is Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Best Xbox 360 exclusive from Giant Bomb. Yep.
Man, Giant Bomb's been around a while, huh?
Yep. And
Is that Brad?
it might be. It could be Jeff, right? Because I know they all really like
yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie. I also really like Nuts and Bolts. So
I
also
need to play Nuts and Bolts still.
at that time might have been the best 360 exclusive.
They were right. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they were correct.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Brads here, so it must be Brad. Yeah, look at that. Okay. From Zool34. Okay, yeah, this is a Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and I think the box score they're talking about is New Funky Mode, which
It's
I
kind
appreciate.
of fucked up that Donkey Kong Country Returns is not going to have a new funky mode, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I feel like we're being cheated by those lazy developers at Nintendo. So fuck them.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I just saw the next one.
Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, from Ali Miracle for Armored Core 5, come heavy or not at all. And then what looks like maybe some French. Yeah, which I think maybe is saying the same thing. I don't know.
Oh boy. I know you're looking more for like pool quotes from journalists, but boy, I like this, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll throw it on there. Maybe we could do one that's like best, like most memorable marketing for a video game.
Come heavy or not at all.
Yep, come heavy.
Wow,
or not
incredible.
at all. And it's Armored Core 4? Armored Core 5.
Oh,
Okay.
5, not 4.
Yep, I did 4 twice there. From Chaos Buckaroo, Game of the Year edition for Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. It's one of the best one of the best games of all time from Fox News Games Weekly. What?
Gamers Weekly. Here's what fucked up about this is that this is the greatest hits version of the game. So many people gave this game of the year. There had to be a million quotes that basically said the same thing that they could have used, and they used the one from Fox News Gamers Weekly.
Yes, that is, man, I'm going to see if I can find the web archive for Fox News Gamers Weekly. What the hell is that? Yes, Alone in the Dark, a good game. I don't know if it says that anywhere on this. Does it really?
Octo's inserting their own pool clone onto it.
In your opinion, Octo, Dr. Ryan, the PS2 poker game stacked back of box quotes. Wait, is this real? Dr. Ryan, is this real? I need you to confirm in chat this is real because I'm going to say it, and I don't think there's any way it doesn't make it if it's real. Please tell me this is real. From Maxim Magazine, Halo with chips.
No way,
Jeff,
this is real.
Jeff,
Yeah?
I found an eBay listing. It is real.
I need
Yes!
this
Oh
game.
my God!
I
PS2
need this
poker game
game. I
stacked.
need this game.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is
Oh my
incredible.
God. Holy shit!
What does that even fucking mean?
Explain yourself. It was a sickness. I'm telling you, with PS2 games, everyone's like, we gotta tell people we're Halo.
Now I want to make like a game where like I want to make a Shenga game, and I'm gonna call it Halo with stacking bricks. You know, something like that.
God, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh man, thank you so much, Dr. Ryan.
Thank you, Dr. Ryan.
From Jim.
But I just want to say, Dr. Ryan, doctors are right. Laughter is the best medicine. I appreciate it.
Thank you for treating our humors. From Jim. Railway Empire 2. I'm going to have to zoom in on this. The golden age of rail sims has arrived from Game Watcher something.
8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10.
8.5. Okay, 8.5 out of 10.
The
Thank
golden age, finally! We've been waiting.
They did it. Railway Empire 2 it's what we've been waiting for. We got there. Oh, yeah, Stranglehold is a good one. Always Be Clothing / Corgi has Stranglehold here. The game is ripe with more awesomeness than Gears of War and Rainbow Six Vegas put together. GamePro.com.
Man, this was the time where we were saying things like awesomeness non-ironically, huh?
Yeah, it was a bad time.
Yeah, a game, man, this game, that's a pretty good one. That one might be considered because that is just, what does that even mean?
This game, and also it's like, could you imagine writing that when we were being edited by Dan Shu?
He would have punched me in the face, I think.
Beaten us. He would have like.
He was a great, nice guy. He would not have actually attacked us.
No, he would, but he might have gotten out a hose and just whipped us with it. All right, let's see here. The game is ripe with more awesomeness. Is that what it says?
Yeah,
Yes,
the game is
that's
ripe
correct.
with more awesomeness than Gears of War and Rainbow Six Vegas put together.
Put together, yeah. It's not one of
I think
the
it's
others.
supposed to be
they're
ripe
both
if you're using
combined.
it that way, but whatever. GamePro.com, and that is for Stranglehold.
Yeah, the John Woo game.
And we got a lot of good options here. Okay. From input name here, from IGN.com, DOAX2 takes things to another level of sinful enjoyment. Yep. Sinful enjoyment. All right, good for you, IGN.
It's got even more half-naked ladies. Yay.
Yeah, look at this digital cleavage from Astro Wolf 5. I'm not sure what game is. The PlayStation can produce mind-boggling effects.
This was just like before the system was coming out.
Yeah, but
the most low-point skeletons you could possibly imagine.
I remember seeing this before, and I remember laughing at this, just seeing the skeletons.
That's from EGM.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh man, okay. Wolf, did I tweet this? There's a chance I might have just tweeted this because I love this image. From Wiesman, this is just the box quote is just the name of the game. Hey, punk, are you tough enough?
Yeah, they were like, what if we just name the game that? I think the game is just called Tough Enough.
Right. Yes.
But yeah. You're right. It is just somehow they got that character from My Hero Academia on the cover years before that show existed.
All Might.
It's All Might,
Like
right?
All Might, yeah.
And
it's just All Might.
And then the subtitle here is "Master the moves to master me."
What is this game?
Master.
It sounds like a
It's a bad
BDSM
beat
game.
'em up.
Yeah.
The bad beat 'em up. It's on NSO. I
think you're right. Yeah, totally. Is this drawn by that guy, the Marvel artist that can't draw feet?
Liefeld?
Yeah, Rob Liefeld.
Or
Yeah,
Liefeld?
it looks a lot like
It kind of
his
looks
style.
like there's no feet.
Yeah, there are no feet. That's right. Okay. Okay. Matt in the Rare Zenless Zone has Bubsy 3D here with a quote from EGM that says, "Stunning, original. Bubsy 3D climbs back to the top. Check it out."
That's just a lie.
How dare you, EGM? Now there are some ellipses here. I wonder if it's like my disgust was stunning and the vomit that I produced was original.
Yeah. There's another quote here under the Gold X Award from PlayStation Extreme says, one of the sleeper hits of 95, an experience that no action platform gamer should miss.
Jesus. Thank you so much, PS Extreme.
Yeah, 96 actually. Get it
Yeah.
right. PlayStation Extreme, thank you.
I always had I don't know what it was. I always didn't like PlayStation Extreme, and I don't know why. Even back then, I rolled my eyes at their title, oh yeah, you're real extreme.
Yeah, I think
magazine.
I felt the same way. Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. And Rare Monkey says he thinks that quote from EGM is Chris Johnson, and I remember them making fun of him on Player One podcast for giving Bubsy 3D a pretty good review, and think, like one of the highest reviews that Bubsy 3D got. So yeah, that's fun. Clink has a Dead Island Game of the Year edition here, and from Zoo it says gut-wrenchingly brilliant, and from Nuts, Zombie Game of the Year.
What the fuck is Nuts?
Are these real? This game likes to joke around.
Oh man,
maybe they just made these up.
Well, Zoo is real. I think these are European lad mags, is what I think they are. Because that 18 rating is a European style rating. I don't know which country. But Zombie Game of the Year from Nuts is pretty good. I like that quite a bit.
Nuts. I think the outlet is more fun.
That definitely is what kind of gets it there. I don't know. Zombie Game of the Year is. I think that's a funny thing to say as well. But yeah. All right. Are you guys able to read this Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition one?
Yes.
It says the newest action game in the series feels like a dream to play by Game Informer.
Yeah.
Why they specify newest action game in the series? Why not just say the newest game in the series?
Yeah, well, for all those turn-based Devil May Cry games.
Is there a single Devil May Cry spin-off game?
God, I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah.
No.
Maybe
not
there's a mobile game.
On console. Yeah, there's mobile spin-offs.
Of course, there's mobile slop.
From Adam Asleep, and I think this is a one where they have the Okami. Is this where they have the IGN logo in the background or something?
This is where they just got the art for this box art from IGN, and they kind of use the stamp tool in Photoshop to get rid of the logo, but not good enough, so you can still see the IGN logo on it, and they had to send out replacements. It was pretty funny.
Chat, remind me, one day we'll do the Mount Rushmore of bad box art. Or box art screw ups, and maybe Capcom might have 3 out of the 4 slots. So
yeah, they might.
We'll do that. Oh, this is a good one. The Thing for PlayStation 2 from Breadfish here. Who here's the quote. I
think you skipped down a bit, Jeff.
I did. I skipped a couple. Wow, I skipped a bunch. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, let me get this. All right, from Hammond of Texas, Rogue Warrior. Let's see here. I am the wrathful god of combat. And that
not the god of war.
Yeah, that might be an actual quote because isn't this game based on a real guy or some shit like that?
Right.
Oh yes. This a guy. The book guy is the same sniper guy?
Yeah, something like that.
Are they related? Yeah. I think it's I don't know why French is funny to me.
Dick Marcinko. Yeah, Dick Marcinko says, "I am the wrathful god of combat." That's a fun thing to put on your game. Bench JC has Bust a Move Arcade 2 Edition. So addictive, it should be illegal.
It's like drugs, man. I do think about this box art all the time with these bubbles with the human faces with it, with their eyeballs being pulled open by tiny sticks, and they're screaming. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's very evocative.
It was it's hey, let's just get the magazine ad people to do the box art.
Right, exactly. Yes, the people doing those magazine ads that people are talking about. Let's just reuse that. Speaking of that, the Tetris game also has a good bit about how the marketing team for the first version of Tetris that was kind of illicitly licensed without them knowing, they positioned it as this is one of the first things to ever come out of the USSR, and the USSR is secretly using it to take over the United States because it's so addictive. And they're like, we made all that shit up, and no one in Russia knew we were saying this shit. I'm like, okay, perfect. Incredible. Willow Davis, the Fruity Pebbles commercial game for the Nintendo Switch. And the quote is, "I miss the world when there was still love left in it." Yeah.
There's a tiny quote here. Sometimes you simply know when you just recorded the worst podcast in prehistory. Shout outs to Emron.
Yeah, shout outs to Emron for sure. I started singing this the other day, and Steph's like, "Wait, what is that?" I know that. So I had to stop the whole family. Yes, that's exactly what I said. Ho, 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 I'm hungry. And she's like, wait, why do I know that? And I literally, like,
the season.
I gathered the whole family together in the family room and made them watch the commercial. And the kids were like, oh, okay, I like Fruity Pebbles. And Steph's like,
oh, yeah. Oh, I need to watch this commercial again soon.
Yep. This was like 2 days ago. From Teriyaki Blues, Shin Megami Tensei, Lucifer's Call, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Again, I think this. Yeah.
Was Nocturne called Lucifer's Call in other territories? This is just this is Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne.
Yeah,
I never knew it was
overseas thing.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I guess they were just like, let's just name it after Satan over here.
Pretty cool.
I mean, isn't there a lot of Satan in those games?
Yes.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
It's full on like fucking Satan is around.
There is a Mount Rushmore for these kinds of things. We will do that. Okay, now we're at Breadfish, the thing. This is one intense action/horror game. You gotta play this one, man. It'll blast you against the wall. And that's from the Thing director, John Carpenter.
I love that they asked
that
him.
guy.
Yeah. Hey, listen, he plays a lot of games. He would know. I mean, it's basically just a review, but also John
I get it. It is funny though. I was like, let's ask this person. Let's ask this person who got paid money because of this game's creation.
Right.
What he thinks.
And he's famously loves getting paid money for not doing a lot of work. So
yes,
yeah,
which I respect.
Oh,
But
more
the
than
game was
anything.
cool, though.
Yeah.
The game was good though.
Oh
It's
yeah,
getting remastered, right?
it is getting remastered. Yep.
Oh yeah,
That's happening soon. If not very soon. Okay. Let's go through them real quick, and then let's start just putting some up on the Mount Rushmore. We have one word: Stuntman rocks from GameSpy for Stuntman. Our frothing demand for this game increases from IGN.com for Ikaruga. Skyrim with guns from Machinima for Far Cry 3. Goodbye Halo. We're gonna have a lot of these. We might have to just pick one of the Halo obsessed ones.
Well, I know which one's gonna win that thing.
Official U.S. PlayStation Magazine, Tribes Aerial Assault. If you're ready for a racing title that's a change of pace, this is it. From SonyWeb.com for Gallup Racer 2001. Mace Griffin is Halo for PlayStation 2. It's that good. PSW for Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. Probably the most playable game in the whole world. Game Master Magazine for Micro Machine 2 Turbo Tournament. Come Heavy or Not at All. Armored Core 5. Halo with Chips. Maxim Magazine for Stacked. And I had an interior parenthetical here. A fucking poker game. The game is ripe with more awesomeness than Gears of War and Rainbow Six Vegas put together. GamePro.com for Stranglehold. All right.
Put Halo with Chips up there right now.
That is incredible. Oh my God. Okay. Halo with Chips from Maxim Magazine, which that is also a good kicker there for Stacked, a fucking poker game. I think we probably can lock in our frothing demand as well, right?
Yeah, our frothing demand is good. I am partial to that stupid Stuntman one. I don't know if you think it's good enough.
No, I do. It's when I was when I was looking them up earlier, trying to remember ones. This is the one I saw and definitely like bookmarked in my brain as like that's one I love as well.
The Micro Machines 2 one made us laugh a lot again.
Yeah, it probably is that. Let's see here. It's probably the most playable game in the whole world. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so that leaves off the Skyrim with guns. Goodbye Halo. If you're ready for a racing game, this is a change of pace. Mace Griffin is Halo for PlayStation 2. Come Heavy or Not at All, and this game is ripe with more awesomeness. No, I think we have it.
I think that's pretty good. And I think we got a Mount Rushmore. I'm so glad we did this just to discover the Halo with Chips game.
Yes, that might be in the next one I get framed on my walls. I want that real bad. Okay, so Mike, go ahead and read these real quick.
The Mount Rushmore of video game cover box quotes. Halo with Chips, Maxim Magazine on Stacked, a fucking poker game. Our frothing demand for this game increases. That's IGN on Ikaruga. We have one word. Stuntman rocks. That's GameSpy on Stuntman. And then probably the most playable game in the whole world. That's a Game Master on Micro Machine 2
Turbo Tournament.
Turbo Tournament.
Yes.
Incredible.
Very good work there, Mikey. Glad we have that. I'll get that posted up on the Blue Sky on Twitter for everybody. We're going to take one more break. We'll come back after that. We'll catch up on any super chats that might have come in, and we'll talk about what we've been playing.
All right, good break.
All right,
Yeah,
let me.
I can just get to it.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna just grab these screenshots real quick before I forget. So let's see here. Let's see. Here's this. Yeah, Halo with chips. Jesus Christ.
Halo with chips. I'm gonna have that in my mind until the day I die.
Yes, that is incredible. Open in
Think about it.
browser. There we go. Halo with chips.
They come heavy is but pretty funny too. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, I'll get the rest of those here in a bit. All right, I'm gonna bring us back
All right,
in.
let's bring it back.
All right, we're back. Mike, what have you been playing?
Yeah, I did actually check out all those Warcraft remasters that just shadow dropped yesterday. Warcraft 1 and 2, brand new remasters. Then Warcraft 3 Reforged got a big 2.0 update. So I kind of spent like 45 minutes with like each of them, just kind of messing around. I was pretty impressed. I know a lot of people don't like the look of the Warcraft 1 and 2 remasters, like the new graphics. I don't know if it's just kind of like too cartoony drawn stuff or if it's AI slop. I'm not sure. It doesn't bother me as much as it bothers some people, but you can just use the old graphics. It just at first when you switch over, it like lowers the resolution. You have a border, but you can even turn that off. So it is just still the new widescreen view with the old graphics. And I think it looks great when you do that. Now, you know, Warcraft fans, they can be intense and they might have like a list of like reasons why this doesn't hold up. I don't know. But just playing it and having an excuse to go back to some old RTS, and I've been kind of hankering for it. I thought that they played good, and I thought that the whole thing worked really well for me. And again, like, yeah, I prefer the old graphics. I mean, that is there. If the new graphics do bother you, which they seem to for a lot of people. Then Reforged, like, Reforged was a mess at first, right? It was an absolute mess. Playing it now, and again, like, I don't know what the Warcraft 3 people know. Those people are intense. I like a lot of them are actually like friends of mine. I grew up with people who loved Warcraft 3, so they might play it and see a lot of issues. I'm playing it now, and I'm like, this just seems to work now. And again, I can use the old graphics and they up-res that stuff. And I'm like, okay, I am just playing Warcraft 3. Good. I'm happy. And in that one, the new graphics, they look pretty good, honestly. The one thing I don't maybe love is the character portraits because they're so high detailed in a way I don't really associate with Warcraft's aesthetic. Warcraft has always been a little cartoony and exaggerated, and I always like that about it. But again, I can just use the old stuff here if I want to. So I think in general, like $40 for this battle chest now, you get the 3 remasters, you can play all these games. It seems pretty good to me. But again, I don't know what the kind of experts think.
Yeah, it seems. I was watching you play. I think it seems pretty decent. I'm gonna like grab this and play through these games on my own pace a little bit. But I've always wanted to. I will probably play on the old graphics because this is definitely what I thought, and I see Sean says it as well. He's like, the new graphics look like what people mean when they say it looks like a mobile game. It's the constraints were part of it, right? That the lack of fidelity forced them to get more creative, and then you had to fill in the gaps with your mind's eye, and your mind's eye did a lot of the heavy lifting, and that was awesome because they communicated a lot of what was happening with the sprites and with the world. And you didn't need more than that. And when you just try to like fill in those gaps through algorithms or through redrawing the art and just kind of connecting the dots, you give us something that's too simple. And it's like, oh no, we were just gesturing at something more complex, and just filling in those gaps is not going to really do it for most people. Now, that said, it doesn't super bother me because I'm not someone who has put Warcraft in the way it looks on any sort of pedestal. But I also haven't played it myself. So maybe once I'm playing, I'll be like, this actually is garish and ugly. But like you keep saying, the original graphics are there, and just play that because that's totally viable. You can completely play those games that way. So yeah, that's probably the way I would do it.
It reminds me a bit of like when they did those Monkey Island remakes. And maybe not. Maybe those games look a little bit better than that, but I didn't love the new graphics. I played through it with that one time. Now, every time I go back to those, I just switch on the old graphics. I much prefer that. You know what's funny? Remember when I was talking about how I think I've seen a lot of seals die in my life?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of that was actually because of Warcraft 2. You kill a lot of seals in that game.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. There's I forgot how many seal killings happen in Warcraft 2. That's actually the one. That's like the asset that looks the worst to me in the new graphics. Right. The dead seal art. It looks real weird. That dead seal looks much better in pixels.
Now it was like, so we were talking about this, and Yeah, the orcas are the ones that kill the seals, right? They also kill a lot of sea lions, right? I always mix those up. I can never remember.
Yeah, I think it's just, whatever they can get.
Yeah.
They be killing a lot of
They eat a lot of
killer whales.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They don't like being called it, then they shouldn't fucking kill, right? That's their fault. Anything else, Mike, that you've been playing?
Just a lot of metaphor. Again, I'm at the end game there. Hopefully, this time next week, I imagine I'll have it finished. Moving on to Dragon Quest. I'm very excited to do that.
Yeah, for me, it's been Tetris Forever and Rise of the Golden Idol in this last week, and talked about that a lot in other places. But I do highly recommend Rise of the Golden Idol, especially if you're someone who enjoys mysteries and solving puzzles and solving mystery puzzles. It's just such a strong style, and it is these mostly static images. There's these static scenes. But you can click in on the characters and get more information about them, or they might be carrying some piece of evidence that's important to it. And, they will animate in this really like wobbly way, and it just looks so cool. And I like the game because it does give you all these pieces of evidence, but just looking at the scene itself still does matter. Every detail matters. And so you feel like the game appreciates your efforts to notice minor details. And so when you piece things together, like, is this thing I'm looking at this way because the characters did this thing, and that's why it led to this conclusion? And as you begin to have these jumps of logic, you begin to piece things together. You're like, oh my God, I think I have it. And you start slotting in the words into the story, which is basically the gameplay mechanic. And when it clicks in and says, yeah, you got it right, it is such an amazing feeling. And then on top of that, there's like meta reveals about what's happening in the overall story that you have that are then very shocking. And I feel very like, oh, I'm more enthralled by this than ever because I discovered this thing about this person. And that has deeper implications about what's going on in this world. And it also does a very good thing of, hey, you might have played Rise or the Case of the Golden Idol, where basically every scene was about what the Golden Idol was doing and all the fucked up things it's capable of. In the early parts of this game, the Golden Idol has not really shown up in its full form yet. So you're just kind of waiting around to be like, man, when is that thing going to pop up and start doing its weird stuff? And so it's kind of hanging out in the background like Jaws in Jaws. And yeah, that works really well for me as well. So loving that game. It is 100% just slotting into the slot I hoped it would. It's accomplishing everything it's going for. And then And then yeah, I'm gonna kind of I'm just gonna rush through that. It's probably what I'm gonna be playing on the plane and stuff here for the next couple of days,
right,
when traveling.
Yeah, I definitely do want to check it out, and I will try to do that while you're gone at some point here. So
yep,
I'll have something to say about that.
Did any of you play Dragon Quest?
I have.
No,
I have it, but I haven't started it.
It started after I beat Metaphor so soon.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I play a little. It looks so good. It's just every remake needs to be this from now on. I'm not gonna accept anything else. I'm sorry, but every remake that's of an JRPG of this time, it has to look like this. Yeah, especially when you go into a dungeon and you hold up the lantern and the shadow is like dynamic. That shit kills me. It's so good.
I kind of can't wait for it.
Sorry, on Blue Sky, I posted the Halo with Chips image and said, hey, watch the rest for the box quotes. And Phil Salvador on Blue Sky said, I have been trying to track down this issue of Maxim for our library, but I don't want to buy an entire year of Maxim to figure out what issue it's in. And that's
we'll do it.
That is Phil Salvador from the Video Game History Foundation. So
we should do it.
If anyone knows,
this would be our contribution.
Okay, I love it. We'll make it happen.
We got a mission.
Fantastic.
Right.
Shout
incredible.
Out, shout out
if we find out they
Foundation.
just made it up.
Yeah.
Maxim never said that.
Like, it's that TikTok thing. Who's gonna know? No one's gonna know. Yeah, it's incredible. Other than that, what was the other game I said I was playing? Tetris Forever. I talked about that a little bit already. It's very good. They're kind of unparalleled in this kind of work. And Micah is known for being able to recreate these weird old games and do a really good job at emulating them. And him having this venue to show off that skill and to do that with strange games that even aren't even Tetris, but are part of the tapestry of Tetris's history, fucking rules. It's such a cool thing. And then, you also get to, like, I got to play this emulated version of the original Electronica 60 version of Tetris that he made for the weird Russian, the USSR computer that was based on the PDB-11 that came out in 1980s, like 15 years after the PDP-11 came out. And it's like, man, I never even thought about playing this because I was like, I'm sure there's emulated versions online that people have done, but it's like I never thought about tracking that down. So just having this version done by an expert programmer like Mike Micah, who's going to pay attention to the details and get all this stuff right and know that I'm playing something that's going to be very faithful, and especially then surrounded by finding out all the history of how this worked and what it was like to work on the Electronica 60, and knowing that the Electronica 60 is very rare now. Like they don't even have one at the Tetris offices. They have a later version of the Electronica computer. It's just so exciting to explore a game this way and a game's history this way. So yeah, another, they've done this work with a bunch of stuff, the making of Karateka, all these other games, but Tetris is one where they really, I think, went all out and they nailed it. So another one that's easy to recommend.
Cool. Definitely need to check that one out too.
I think that's going to do it though. Mike, do we have any more super chats?
There's a couple more here from West, another name I'm going to fail at, Dieterich.
I think Dieterich, yes.
Dieterich. Thank you, Wes. The most playable podcast in the whole world. Thank you, Wes.
That's right.
And then
what is a tuba? Sorry,
what is a tuba? Digital Firefly says, I have one word. Game Decides is the Halo podcast with chips.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did you guys even read the other quote that's on that box?
Oh, is there another one? All right, look at
another quote.
From
my
Nigel
God.
Goodman
No way.
of ESPN, the magazine.
My God.
What?
Stacked could be the Madden of poker games.
From Nigel
What?
Goodman.
They can't keep getting away with it.
That's incorrect. No, I did not even look at that. That's crazy.
Because Halo with
That's
chips is so
wild.
ridiculous. That's fair.
Now I'm beginning to think they were made up.
Right?
They just made
Yeah.
this shit up.
That could be the Matt. I mean,
There's no way it happened twice.
man.
No.
It's from Gamebryo.
Oh, it's incredible. Holy shit. Okay.
Okay.
You need a copy of this, Jeff.
Yeah, a stacked.mtv.com is a website on the back of this thing. Okay.
Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, that is the official
do it on
Stacked site and tournament headquarters. Was Stacked like an MTV poker show?
It might have been. It just goes to mtv.com now, I'm afraid.
Okay, well, I'll have to get on the
All
Wayback
How many
Machine.
people do you think go to mtv.com a day anymore?
Yeah, probably 10, 11.
Right?
Very, very sad people.
Yeah, that's just Kurt Loader going there every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more super chats?
I think we're good. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for the very generous super chats. Especially shout outs to a KB Esquire for that $50 super chat. That's awesome. Okay. I think we should get out of here. Mike, I'm going to hit the music.
Cool.
There it goes. Oh,
Cool,
no,
cool,
actually,
cool.
nope. It's not playing. There we go. Let me try it now.
It's playing for us.
It was playing for you guys, but it wasn't playing for them. Okay.
Hey, it doesn't matter though.
All right. What's the plan for next week? You guys you're bringing in Ash guy, bringing in
AJ
Sean?
said he's going to come in on Thursday. I bet we'll have Sean on Tuesday if he wants to. Yeah, so we'll be good. We'll have stuff popping off still. Then we get to that Thanksgiving, so we'll figure out what we're going to do. Hey, I was on the DLC podcast this past
Oh, you
weekend.
were?
So,
I didn't know that.
Yep. So
I
check out
love those guys.
DLC. Yep. The first time I was on that show is when I was talking about Star Fox Zero, right?
Really?
Yeah, because I was a nobody. They just did a call like, who here's actually reviewed Star Fox Zero? I was like, I have. So there you go. That was a while ago now. But yeah, so always like hanging out.
I used to
the
live
boys.
5 minutes from Jeff Kanata, and then I moved
wow.
very, very fast after he moved to Colorado. I moved away, which was a real bummer. But we did go to one hockey game together. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So like Mike said, they'll have some stuff next week. I appreciate you guys doing that. That's awesome. Also, like Mike says, we'll figure out what Thanksgiving looks like. We might just do a short episode that just says thanks to everybody, something like that.
Maybe Wednesday night. Who knows?
Yep, exactly. We'll see how
I
that
might be
goes.
going out Wednesday night. Shit, that's a get drunk night. That's right.
Yeah. So we might just we'll come up with something, but it might not be a full episode.
Maybe I'll just call into Discord from the bar, wasted. That'd be fun.
Sounds perfect. And then in the meantime, I'll be at Disney next week. I won't be on Giant Bomb, but there'll be plenty of stuff happening on Giant Bomb, including, I believe next week is Dave Sean. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, Deshaun.
Deshaun.
Going into the Game Best morning slot, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's how I'm starting my days.
Oh yeah.
I am very excited about that. So there'll be, and that he's going to do several hour streams each day, or most of the days.
Yeah, probably like 2 hours a day.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
I'm-
I'm so excited.
I'll have something to watch when I'm waiting in line and sitting on the toilet at Disney. And then I'm on Blue Sky now. I'm also I'm still on Twitter, but I'm using Blue Sky way more. So give me that Grubb.
This guy's popping off.
Yep.
I get more engagement there on Twitter already. So.
Same. Thanks everybody. Catch you next time. Until then, have a good one. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
I expect pictures, Jeff.
Oh, don't worry.
Deshaun.
I am an animal. Look at that slant. I have to poop. Sean is right. Sean is right.
Those are great liquid explosions.